It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, today's an exciting day. I got my good friend Frank Cucco and Matt Michaels from Impact Networking. Hey, hang on a second. Before I get started, I want to take a sip of my coffee out of my Dot Security mug. We know that Dot Security is also owned by Impact Networking, so I thought I'd throw them a plug. It is my show. Frank Cucco, it's so exciting to have you on the big, gigantic, sharp, interactive board alongside with Matt Michael, who's heading up your e-commerce site. You know, e-commerce in the industry has been talked about for way too damn long without any action. You guys put action to it about a year ago. You are literally knocking it out of the park, and I'm not talking about foul balls. These are home runs. So, Frank, I want to start right with you and tell me what the hell is the difference between you and our other friends out there that you decided you were going to do this for Impact Networking? What made you do it?
I mean, what made me do it is that we wanted to take the process of selling hardware out of the hands of the salespeople and drive it to an e-commerce site where it can be done very quickly and efficiently for the client, similar to, you know, an experience like Amazon or these other companies that are really forward thinking. So yeah, that was the reason we did it, was to make the lives of the salespeople a lot easier and to make the lives of the customer a lot easier. And, you know, without somebody like Matt, that probably couldn't happen. You need to have a key person in the company to be passionate about this and want to drive it forward. And that's really what I think has driven a lot of the success, is Matt's passion.
Well, Matt, I want to go over to you. So, you know, we've seen a lot of dealers try to do this. And unfortunately, I think they put like someone that's maybe the VP of sales of hardware in charge of building an e-commerce site, and then they get all the nonsense from the sales reps and everybody's confused. So how did you manage that? Because I'm sure the salespeople are like complaining, we're going to sell stuff online, how am I going to get paid and all that stuff. So how did you deal with that?
A couple different ways. I'll, you know, the pay part of it, we put a different payment program in place for e-commerce sales, Ray. One of the things we're able to be a little bit more nimble on is payment, because we're paid up front, right? Mm-hmm. People put things in a cart, they pay with a credit card. Impact gets paid right away. So we put a SPIT program in place where we instituted these Impact branded credit cards, and we pay out every Friday for e-commerce sales.
Wow.
So if you sell something Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday within that given week, you actually get paid for it that following Friday. But that was only one component of it. You know,
as a comparison, just so you know, they would have to wait 30 days minimum in the past, and Impact would have to be paid. So they could wait 60 days or months if the client didn't pay us. They got paid 30 days from when the client paid us. Now they're paid basically immediately. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, no,
that's
okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we were able to kind of rearrange the way commissions were paid. We also just put a full court press on training, Ray. I kind of lived central to all of our Midwest offices, and I was a salesperson at Impact before this. Mm-hmm. So every 2 weeks I traveled to a different Impact office, and I worked with the sales team directly in the bullpen. Because I guess it's one thing to have a good e-commerce site, it's another thing to have a good SPIT program, but you have to go prove it to the salespeople, you know, the bullpens, in my opinion. So and that continues right up until tomorrow. I'll be traveling to Indianapolis tomorrow to continue to do that. And then the sales team saw the process work. I mean, you know, they slowly started to send clients here, and, you know, we were able to prove it through just doing it. So there was trust built over the course of that year through training, through the comp plan, and then just putting those things into practice.
And the ease of use, because now you got it down to how long you can process an order.
Yeah, we have. I mean, the orders are processed that same day, so the sales reps, they don't really have to do anything. That old process of approvals and paperwork and kind of the constant follow-up is gone. They just have to get them to the store. My team now handles really any ancillary questions around it. We even schedule deliveries now coming out of the store. So yeah, the easy use is there. You know, there's a lot of reps, they could just move on with their day. They just get notified when an order is placed. They get notified when the commission is placed, and they get notified when the equipment installs, and that's really it.
You know,
so
Frank,
they're getting a box bonus on every deal that goes through. So it wasn't like
Okay.
we said, oh, we're going to push it to e-commerce and you're not getting paid.
Right.
We still pay them, and then we have them hunting larger opportunities in IT, cyber, AI, and consulting, those type of things. So that was the beauty of it. And, Matt has been in this industry a long, long time. So his knowledge and how to get things done is super helpful. So if you're going to do an e-commerce site, you can't just put the site up there and hope for the best, because nobody's coming to it. It's that simple. He goes around, like he said, to every one of our 27 locations and basically trains them and sells them on using the site and the benefits of the site. And now an order takes, I believe, around a minute, Matt told me the last time we met, versus what they used to have to do. But if you let the sales force and the VP of sales or the sales manager be involved in this, you will fail for sure, because they'll make it fail.
Well, I remember about a year ago, you were actually showing the e-commerce business as its own business unit in your P&L, and you were kind of showing the revenue and the cost. So the question is, has it exceeded your expectations, Frank? I mean, it's only been a year, and I think you guys did like $300,000 worth of e-commerce business last month. Is that correct?
Yeah, last month we did 302, thanks to Matt and his team. That was a huge increase month over month, and he's actually increased it, I believe, almost every month since he started this. But we're super happy. I think we've done a way better job than I expected right out of the gates, and I think it's only going to grow, hugely like it has over the last few months. And I could see us doing millions of dollars in the very near future on that site.
Do you see?
I don't know, Matt, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. We didn't set out with a financial number in mind or a financial target. We set out to truly make it easier for our clients and our reps, right? That's been our core focus. And the kind of financial success, I think, will follow that. So Frank's right. We did about 300,000. We'll be right at about 2 million this year in e-commerce. But also, in a way, I feel like we're just getting it out of the gate, Ray. We're just really actually kind of scratching the surface on what we can do. So I expect those numbers a year from now to be far greater than what they are today.
Yeah, with the technology, Ray, we just, I believe, Matt just got A3s on there last month, correct?
Within the last couple months.
Yeah, so we couldn't even sell A3s over the internet because most A3s are leased and most A4s are purchased. So I foresee this like blowing up now that we have access to leasing and the A3 product being sold over the website. And our strategy is to sell everything except production print through an e-commerce site.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I mean, it really is. Have you looked, Frank, to see, like, if you look at the revenue that you generate and the cost to get that revenue, what the difference is as a percentage to when you had to do it with a physical person? Are you guys looking at those numbers yet?
I don't think we've looked at those numbers, but it's obvious that we have one person that brings in $300,000 a month. It's more cost effective than going across the whole company and using all those salespeople, all those sales managers, the VPs, the general managers to sell these type of products.
Bingo.
We're talking about a massive labor force to move these products that now take 2 minutes to move them on the internet. It goes to the warehouse. The warehouse ships them, and the tech installs them. Doesn't hurt the rep because they're still getting a commission. And now they can go do several $1 million deals or $1 billion deals, which is what they want to concentrate on. And quite frankly, if you want to hire somebody, they're not going to be hired to go sell copiers in this day and age. They want to go sell these other products that are much more sophisticated, much more expensive, and actually change the world, quite frankly, by changing and helping customers help their customers. So that's the way we see it.
Have you seen where a customer would buy the MFP or a printer or whatever, and then go back and buy some other stuff, some other technology spends? Maybe they buy earbuds or any of that stuff?
We don't have earbuds or anything like that up yet. Right now, we're focused on equipment, paper, and toner.
Okay.
And yes, we have seen cross-selling there where equipment will buy a supply or vice versa. And we have plans in 2025 to add some more MIT-type products on there. And yeah, we fully expect cross-selling opportunity like that. And to just put a finer point on what Frank talked about, or your question on how many hours it takes, or looking at kind of the operational costs. Frank touched on the front end, the sales side, but there's an equal savings behind the scenes, Ray, with accounts receivable and purchasing and our customer relations team and our warehousing team. They don't have to touch those orders either as they come through, which I didn't even realize the immense savings we'd have behind the scenes. You know, I was more focused on the front end as too, but there's just as much time savings for our admin team with these orders as well. So yeah, it takes us a lot less money to get those orders out the door and delivered.
Well, I think what Impact has always done is they eat their own dog food. You took e-commerce to a different level. And a lot of our friends are looking at e-commerce, you know, they got to get their customers, they're trying to compete with Amazon, and that's not the goal at Impact Network. The goal was to allow your salespeople to process orders through the e-commerce site with a customer, teach the customer how to use the e-commerce site, number one. Next time around, they'll probably upgrade their machine. They won't even need the sales rep involved in it, which would be amazing. And so I think a lot of what you're doing is just phenomenal. And again, Frank, you know, you're the pioneer of a lot of the stuff that we do in this industry. Congratulations to both of you. And just to be clear, you guys are using the B2B Toolbox platform. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's correct.
With Norm.
Okay. That's worked really close with them. They've done a great job for Impact. And through that collaboration, I think we've come up with a really good product for our industry, for what we do. And like Matt had mentioned, you know, we had run a large IT operation, somewhere around $120 million a year. There's a lot of hardware sold in there also that is, it's difficult to get it processed, sent out, on a timely basis. Like, for instance, other companies may have a laptop in the office the next day. We can't do that today yet. So we're moving all those type of products onto this e-commerce site also. So if a customer needs a laptop, they need a license, they need whatever, they go online, they buy it, they have it the next day. That's what we're moving towards.
It is. It's supposed to be find it, click buy now. Have it show up at your house or your business. Well, you know, guys, this is fantastic stuff, and I really want the industry to pay attention because e-commerce is extremely important. Quit procrastinating and do it. You know, obviously, you know, Frank and Impact and Matt, that whole team at Impact Networking, pretty remarkable people, and they don't screw around. When they want to do something, they do it, and they do it right. You guys took a whole year to build this thing out. Well, you were building it out, you're growing revenue. You didn't even start it till about 11 months ago online. You're going to do $2 million this year. Is that the calendar year you're talking about? Like this month ends, $2 million?
Yeah. I started this job on July 1st of 2023. So we had about 6 months last year to figure things out. And that $2 million will be the calendar year from the beginning of this year to the end.
That's amazing. Right. We expect at least $5 million next year because, you know.
I think that may be an underestimate, to be honest.
There you go. We'll check back with you in about 6 months. Frank, is there anything you want to add before we end this?
I just think the only thing I would add is get into e-commerce, set up your site, don't let your salespeople get in the way of it. Have a good strategy on how it works for the salespeople and the company, and it's a huge win, and we're an example of that.
Well, pick the right leader. What about you, Matt? You want to say anything before we end?
No, I appreciate the time spent here, and you know, if anybody has any questions for us, we'd be happy to help. We think that this is we think that this is something our industry should embrace, no matter where you are in the market. And yeah, we're happy to help anybody get to where they need to go.
Well, one day we'll have to have an e-commerce summit. Because, Frank, everybody watching me knows this status quo is a killer of all it'll be invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.